An expanding triangle is a rare 5-wave structure labeled as a wave A, B, C, D, and a wave E, and can appear in any of the structures that are wrote in the box over here. Wave B of a zigzag, wave X, wave Y in a sideways double combo, WXY, wave Z in a sideways triple combo, WXYXZ, and a wave 4. When looking at the rules and the guidelines, all of the waves in an expanding triangle have to be part of the zigzag family, either a simple, double, or a triple zigzag. However, 4 out of the 5 waves have to be simple zigzag, so a simple ABC 535 to the upside or an ABC 535 to the downside. If one of the waves is a more complex structure, it is most commonly wave C or wave D turning into a double or a triple zigzag. Wave E by itself can also turn into a triangle, however that is very rare, but what is more common for a wave E is to either not reach the AC trend line and turn around before touching it, or overshoot the AC trend line, creating a bit of a breakout before then turning around. Oftentimes in an expanding triangle, the volume will increase as the pattern is evolving, as each next wave structure is bigger than the previous structure. Looking at the targets, the most common target area for all of the subwaves is between the 1 to the 1.382 Fibonacci, taken from the start to the end of the previous wave structure. If price moves towards the 1.5, it significantly reduces the probabilities you're looking at a subwave structure of an expanding triangle. Now, these target areas can at times be pretty big, and there is another way to calculate a target for a wave C, a wave D, and a wave E, which is common in an expanding triangle, and that is the 1.618 trend-based fib extension. For a wave C, you take the 1.618 from the start to the end of A to the end of wave B. For a wave D, you take the trend-based fib from the start to the end of B to the end of wave C, and for your wave E, you take the trend-based fib extension from the start to the end of C to the end of your wave D. When comparing the different waves in an expanding triangle in time, naturally the probabilities are higher for each next wave to be longer or the same amount of time as the previous wave structure, because each next structure is covering more price. Wave B is bigger than wave A, C is bigger than wave B, etc. So if we take a fib time from the start to the end of wave A, naturally your wave B has a higher probability of ending around the 1-to-1 or after the 1-to-1. A minimum target for each of the subwaves is to at least finish after the 382 fib time, as it is very rare for a structure to finish before the 382, especially in an expanding triangle. And if a structure is continuing to range until the 4, 5, or 6 fib time, it significantly reduces the probabilities you're looking at a subwave structure of an expanding triangle. An important tip that I do like to give you is to only consider an expanding triangle after wave D is in. Up till that point, there are other scenarios that most likely have a higher probability, for example, a flat and a WXY structure. If we think about a flat, we think about a 3-wave move in an ABC. So as long as you don't have any of the information after your wave C here, a flat will have the highest probability, where you have a 3-wave zigzag in your wave A, a 3-wave zigzag in your wave B of the flat, where wave B has a similar target area compared to a wave B in an expanding triangle, and then you're looking for a wave C to the upside in a wave 1, 2, 3, and then another 4 and a 5, where most commonly your wave C will end above or below the wave A pivot. However, the difference is that in a wave C, you're aiming for a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in an expanding triangle, you of course want a 3-wave structure in a zigzag before then turning back around. In a WXY, it is almost the same thing, where you have a zigzag in your wave W, a flat inside wave X, and then a wave Y. In this case, there's 2 things that you have to pay attention to. First of all, it is the low over here, which in an expanding triangle is your wave D, as you're looking for an A, B, C, D, and then a wave E, but also time, and then it is time of your wave X compared to your wave W. Let me explain, because what we are looking for here is a zigzag in your wave W and then a flat structure inside wave X. Naturally, we are then looking for a 5-wave structure in wave C with a 3-wave A, a 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C to the downside, where wave C is taking out the low in this example of your wave A. In an expanding triangle, you only get a 3-wave structure and then move back towards the upside, invalidating an impulse. The second thing is time. Your wave X does have a time relationship with your wave W. It is no problem for wave X to be 1, 2, 3 times longer than your wave W, sometimes even 4, maybe even 5, but the moment you go towards a 5 Fib time or a 6 Fib time of wave X compared to W, it will significantly reduce the probabilities that you are looking at a flat inside wave X, and you take the Fib time from the start to the end of your wave W, you double click over here, and then you toggle on the 5 and the 6 Fib time. So the moment you reach the 5 or the 6 Fib time, it will significantly decrease the probabilities that you are looking at a wave X in comparison to a wave W, and especially once price then moves to the upside, invalidating an impulsive structure to the downside for a flat inside wave X, you gotta start to think at least about an expanding triangle. This is everything that you have to know about an expanding triangle. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask.